What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show of Around the Slate. We got Javier here, Rain to my right. Today we're going to talk about Marvel's Netflix series and everything it's gotten so far and what it's eventually going to be leading up to. So, I finished Iron Fist. I don't know why people got mad about it. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't see what all the...
Yeah.
It was, from what I heard, it was a bunch of critics who are supposed to like critically analyze shows, and they're not supposed to be, I guess they look into the negative part of everything, like they're supposed to just concrete type of criticism.
Right.
Okay, that's good and fine, but there was some that I did think that they were kind of right on, but for the most part, I mean, shoot, it's a fun series. In my opinion, it's a fun series. You know, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not the best one, not in my opinion, but
yeah.
The
action wasn't as good as the other ones, but it still had some fun fight scenes, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like especially after Daredevil, you want some cool old kung fu action, and I think that gave a lot of what
Yeah. Well, he's called
like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage were missing.
Yeah. He's called the immortal weapon for a reason.
reason.
So he had to, if he can't fight very well, I mean, he has to.
Yeah.
He's a martial artist. If they're not very good fight scenes, he's supposed to be a martial artist, and they need to fire their stunt choreographer.
Right.
But I liked it, man. I mean, I've liked every single one of them. Like, it wasn't my favorite. Daredevil is still probably the original OG. It's still probably my favorite out of the one, especially season 2 with the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
I would say it's maybe a little bit better than Luke Cage in my opinion, because I didn't really even like.
I would
Luke
put
Cage.
it above Luke Cage.
Yeah, slightly.
And it's not just because I'm a white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the reason I didn't really like the second half of Luke Cage is because I got rid of Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
And they brought in the other dude who just
had
crazy eyes for no reason. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you just because we're brothers for some reason."
Yeah.
And I really like because Cottonmouth, he had his whole music background. He wanted to be an artist.
Yeah.
But then he had to, stay with the whole
it was
family crime
lord. It was pretty tragic because he really knew how to play that piano on that show.
Oh yeah. I definitely agree with Javier. Like, Iron Fist probably wasn't the strongest series, but it was a good series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, from episode 1, I immediately liked it. I mean, I would agree with one critic who said the pacing was a little slow, but I mean, with an origin story, the pacing's got to be a little slow because they're cramming all this information at us. Kind of,
especially with no one's heard of Iron Fist.
Exactly.
Like the guy Googled him, and he got a beer company and a clothing company.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's
Oh, okay.
It was in the show, so that's fake.
But yeah, still. I mean, like definitely, I'd put that above Luke Cage because I mean, Daredevil was awesome. Like total, what was it? Can't think. Gamble, and it paid off awesomely.
Yeah, definitely.
Jessica Jones was amazing, especially with having,
that one I didn't watch. I still haven't watched.
Definitely seeing David Tennant as the bad guy was different but really good. And and the same, Luke Cage wasn't bad, but it definitely slowed down after Cottonmouth got arrested and put in jail.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about Luke Cage was its whole, because he lives in Harlem, so that whole culture of Harlem Renaissance type of stuff. I know they mentioned in the show, like they're trying to do a new Renaissance type of deal. Harlem has a unique environment, and they have their own. They're their own type of. They're in their own little world, just like every other place in like Hell's Kitchen, just Harlem. I think Manhattan. I think is what Iron Fist. I don't remember. But it had that whole kind of black hip hop culture, subculture type of deal. And I really like that about it, especially in the theme music at the very beginning. They had that type of music, hip hop, and it was real. Also, the kind of like the don't shoot type of movement, the police brutality type of deal. You have a man who can't
can't get shot.
Can't get shot. You know what I mean? He's bulletproof. So that kind of stems a lot. I think what they try to do, kind of, I guess it was like politically charged, of where you have a guy, especially nowadays news, black youths or African Americans getting shot by police and stuff like that. You have a guy he's above that. He's bulletproof. Like nobody can stop him. So it's kind of like he's like a hero, that type of hero, and he's like a great symbol for black culture. You know what I mean? So I like that about it.
Oh yeah, and like I saw this post where they kind of talked about like what each show kind of identified with, like Jessica Jones, kind of the same thing where they, she was in an abusive relationship with Kilgrave, and then she was kind of breaking out of that and becoming her own person again, and Luke was introduced into that show, and I think he was partly the reason why she found herself. Then he got his own show to kind of further his story and his
kind of like filled in his background.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting way, because usually you don't see that, like introduction to a character and then we learn about him in a different series.
Oh yeah, and kind of like in a new way too. Because I felt like Luke Cage was definitely a little bit more lighter than how dark Jessica Jones was. Like not, and more so specifically on like how it was filmed. Like there's more bright colors in Luke Cage than Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
that's true. A lot of kind of light yellowish. Type of, and then like you have Daredevil, who he's one of the first superheroes that had a disability. He's blind. You wouldn't see a blind.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think blind people could do much of really anything. Really. I mean, because that's such a. I mean, but he's kind of a symbol, just like Luke Cage is a symbol for, maybe black culture. Yeah. He's a symbol for, the disabled community, people in wheelchairs, something that don't feel like they can do much. Like, no, look at Daredevil right here.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, I didn't really watch Jessica Jones really that much. I'm trying to figure out in my head what kind of Iron Fist was. Was a theme of, I guess I had to really think about that.
I feel like the theme of Iron Fist was just kind of finding yourself.
Yeah.
Because, he didn't know if he wanted to be Iron Fist or if he wanted to be Danny Rand.
Right.
And, of course, that's always kind of the thing with Marvel in general, is most of those heroes don't know if they can lead a double life,
Right.
Right. But I feel like they did that really well with Danny Rand, especially for a character who's coming home after being presumably dead for 15 years.
Right.
And so I feel like that helped out, kind of like, well, who do you want to be? Do you want to come back and be Danny Rand, or do you want to be the Iron Fist like you were trained to be?
Right.
But I think that's another reason why a lot of critics had a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because, Iron Man kind of did that for a little while in the first Iron Man movie. He didn't know if he wanted to be Tony or be Iron Man or...
Yeah. Or how to be both.
Exactly. Yeah, and they finally answered that by Iron Man 3, where the suit doesn't make him. Right. But, I still think Iron Fist did it really well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Just another little thing was Danny Rand for 15 years grew up like such a simple lifestyle, growing up in a temple with a bunch of monks who didn't really care about money. All they cared about was training and their philosophies and their theology. And come back to New York City, he's a billionaire. All they care about, that's how they talk. Their language is money. All they know and understand is money and power. And so he has to kind of try to fit into that world somehow. He doesn't know, just like you said, if he wants to be that. Because he's the first big main character. He's a billionaire, owner, heir to like a big major corporation. So those two narratives back in hot and cold type of deal. Does he want to just be the simple Iron Fist and do that, but also be a billionaire and try to run a company, $1 billion company? He has to find a way to do that. So interesting. So I guess that's a general thing with that movie. That show.
One thing I want to know about Iron Fist is why the hell didn't he call Daredevil?
Yeah.
Because he looked on the internet, he knows about newspapers.
Yeah.
there's obviously going to be some news stories about Daredevil fighting crime.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hey, is this some other kung fu dude? Maybe I should call him up.
Yeah.
Or like the nurse girl, whatever her name was. Claire.
Yeah.
She said, I know somebody who took on the hand. Why did she say, oh, maybe we should call him? You know, maybe he can help me.
How Rosario, she's finding time to do all those shows.
Exactly.
Every single one. Like you're just in Luke Cage. Gotta take a break. Go make a movie or something. You know?
Yeah.
That's off the subject, but I'm like, oh, she's finding. But I like her. I like Claire Temple. She's a real. I like how they've connected her somehow into every show.
And I feel like that's how
she's
they.
in Jessica Jones. Really.
She is. She's
in one
towards the
episode?
end.
She's in one episode. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense why she was in it.
Yeah.
Because Luke, Luke Cage is hurt.
Right.
So you got to go find a nurse.
Yeah.
And which that's mainly how she fits in. Is she's a nurse. She knows how to fix people.
Yeah.
So let's.
Yeah, because didn't
really
like
had
they
to
take
work
him
out.
like didn't Jessica take Luke to the hospital, and then Claire knew like you can't keep him here. I'll help him out somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's how they wanted to interweave the shows together, not to make them feel so kind of separated. It's like, well, here's a single character that's been in every single show.
Kind of like this Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury.
Exactly.
She's the connecting piece of everything.
She's the Nick Fury
She's
of
gonna
the Defenders.
assemble the Defenders.
Yeah.
But that's a good point too. Like I remember watching that one where Claire was like, I had a friend who took on the hand and it did not end well. I'm like, then call him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Matt.
They're probably like, okay, yeah.
Murdoch and Nelson went under. I think he's got time on his hands.
Yeah.
Now, so.
Sure. Yeah.
I did like Madame Gao. I like her as a villain.
Oh yeah.
I really do.
I hope. I hope she's back in the Defender.
Yeah.
She's probably one of my favorite Marvel villains at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like I read somewhere where she was going to be back in the Defenders.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Sigourney Weaver is the villain. One of the big players. I haven't really read on what she's going to be.
Right.
And obviously, I think it also has to involve the hand. So, because that seems to be the main. That's going to be the main. Season 2 of Daredevil kind of tied into that, and then Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I don't know how Luke Cage and Jessica Jones fit into that, but
because Jessica Jones wasn't dealing with the hand; she was just dealing with her villain Kilgrave, who can control people's minds.
Yeah.
And then Luke Cage was dealing just with Cottonmouth and Diamondback.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting to see why they got joined into the team when only Daredevil and Iron Fist dealt with the hand.
Yeah.
But
I didn't notice in Iron Fist they didn't. I remember in Daredevil they mentioned not the hand, but they mentioned the other group, the Chased.
Yeah.
It was like their enemies,
Sticks people,
clan or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't mention that in Iron Fist, and I wondered like, what happened to them?
I mean, maybe they don't know about it because Kunlun is in another dimension.
Right.
So obviously it's going to be hard to. You can't really pick up a
communicate
cell phone and call them over there.
That's true.
communicate across dimensions.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were gonna go with that whole being in another dimension, like it's a whole, because that kind of gets into more like these Netflix shows. You kind of they're trying to be more realistic and real, and then it was like, oh, they mentioned the dragon, Shao Lao, that dragon. I'm like, oh, okay, so they are going that way with like another dimension.
And I'm kind of glad we didn't actually see Shun Lao, the dragon. Like you just see like his eyes, and I'm kind of glad like they didn't actually take the time to animate a fight scene between Danny and the dragon. I think that made it a little bit more real, but yeah, same thing. Like it was on a different dimension. I was like, like, oh, are we Doctor Strange now?
Yeah, we're getting into that little mystical kind of. I didn't know if they were gonna do that.
Yeah,
but it worked. It was cool.
So I'm pretty sure Elektra's gonna be back for Defenders because she opened her eyes at the end of season 2 of Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because another mystical type of theme, like they're bringing back the dead.
So probably sticking some people from him.
Yeah, I've heard that when they hinted at it when Stick shows up in season 1 of Daredevil, that it's gonna be Stick and Stones, like the guy that he was like talking to, and he said that like Matt's not ready. Because I read that the guy who plays Stick is going to be in the Defenders.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're going to set up for that.
Yeah. I hope Punisher comes back.
And his own
I hope he just
He's supposed to have his own spin-off.
Well, he does have his own spin-off, so I've seen some photos of it.
Yeah.
I just want him to come, you know, like there's a heated battle, thick of the moment, people are about to die. He just comes, blows some people's heads off, and says, "All right, see ya." Yeah, kind of like what he did in season 2. He just shoots all the people from the hand, and Matt's like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you later, Red. See you later.
Yeah.
Call me if you need me.
Right.
I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah. Anyway.
$5,000 well spent for John Bernthal. Well, probably $5 million.
Yeah.
Or no,
Right.
5,000.
Great. He's great. He nailed it on the head. Thomas Jane was good in the movie, The Punisher. He was probably, it's probably John Bernthal and then Thomas Jane, because I love the Punisher movie. That one early 90s. I mean, of course it could have been better, but it was early 2000s, so they did what they could. I liked it.
Yeah, but I'm.
That's going off on a
But I'm really looking forward to the Defenders to see what they do, because I feel like what Marvel's trying to do is trying to differentiate the two teams, because I know a lot of people are like, oh well, the Defenders got to join up with the Avengers at some point, and it's like, well, not really. The Defenders operate solely out of Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
So I feel like Marvel's definitely going to try to differentiate the two teams. That way, people can be like, yeah, the Defenders are the Defenders, and the Avengers are the Avengers. Because if you notice in all the series, they don't really mention the Avengers at all. Like,
you just call him some weird nickname from like the green guy.
The green guy, or the gods with silver hammers. I remember hearing in I think that was Luke Cage, where they're like, yeah, gods with silver hammers.
Yeah, they don't directly mention. They call the when they try to invade it, the incident.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come up with a better name than that.
That's what we're calling it now.
The incident, like.
But yeah, I definitely feel like the Defenders is going to kind of be like the big culmination, kind of like what they did with the Avengers movie. But like, I feel like Marvel's really going to be like, look, the Defenders are here, the Avengers are over here doing God knows what. Mm-hmm. But at least we'll know what the Defenders are doing, and I'm really looking forward to see what they're going to do with season 3 of Daredevil, season 2 of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, to kind of see because more than likely those are going to be aftermath seasons. We've joined up together, now what?
Yeah.
But
do you think they'll go in with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because that's still running pretty good.
I'm not for sure. I mean, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they set up for the Inhumans, which the Inhumans are getting their own show now.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting a movie anymore.
Yeah. It's going to be aired in theaters, though, like the first 2 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. Like a mini movie.
IMAX, yeah. The first 2 episodes are going to be
in
theater.
And then, then they introduced Ghost Rider into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So,
right.
I don't know. I mean,
I wish they'd all come together.
I think that would be pretty cool if Coulson just kind of shows up one episode of the Defenders. It was like, hey, we could use your help because we don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
Good. Like, hey, we'll lend you here's some Inhumans. Go fight your war, but bring them back when you're done.
Yeah.
We need them back.
We need our toys back. All right, guys. What do you guys think? You're excited for the Defenders? What do you think is going to happen to Punisher? Let us know on Twitter and Facebook @SlateBoard. See ya.